welcome to another episode of Police Beat. I'm Officer Ben Tobias, the spokesman for the Gainesville Police Department, and joining me as co-host is Sergeant Sharna Sen. We hope all of you had a great holiday season and a happy new year.
We begin this episode with a viewer favorite, our undercover prostitution details. Recently, we have had multiple citizen complaints of illegal activity involving prostitutes in the southwest area of Gainesville. To combat this problem, as we have in the past, we use undercover officers to detect this type of crime and enforce the laws.
During this detail, we utilized both male and female undercover officers. The detail was successful and resulted in multiple arrests of both known female prostitutes and males that were looking to solicit prostitutes. Part of community-oriented policing is listening to the citizens' complaints of crime in their area, and we took action and showed that we will not tolerate this crime in Gainesville. Let's follow the operation and see how things unfolded.
We're out here to target the prostitutes around Gainesville. We've had a lot of complaints recently from the citizens of Gainesville, mainly in the southeast side of town, where the prostitutes have become very aggressive with citizens, performing acts in their yards, yelling at citizens as they're driving by, causing traffic concerns as well. So today's detail is to focus on the prostitutes, to try and pick up as many females as possible, and then to also try and pick up the guys, the Johns, that are picking up the females on the street corners. My position in the detail today is uniform support. We have several undercover officers in unmarked units, and my position is once they develop that probable cause to make the arrest, I move in a marked unit and take custody of the person, the male or female, depending on which scenario we're doing at the time, and take them into custody, and then we transport them out to the department of the jail.
I got one in the car. Yeah, I got eyes on them. They just made a right off us. Back here on 17th Terrace. They're heading toward 4th Avenue, 17th Terrace. Let's do what we gotta do. Turning in front of the buildings on your south side.
For the girls in certain areas, they're going to be flagging cars down, or they're giving certain signals when cars are driving by, kind of like either a thumbs up or high five, kind of waving at people as they drive by. Hi there, how's it going?
All right.
Go ahead and stand up for me.
Oh, where my eyes at?
Oh. Try and turn around.
All right.
You have anything else on you?
No, ma'am.
All right, walk back with me.
Alright, we're on 1037 here.
You got me for something? Chocolate.
It was in her hand. What
my
is it?
Ajax?
Is it Ajax? Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you bring in Ajax?
I'm cleaning my apartment.
Okay. You put it in bags like that?
Yeah, I just
I
borrowed it.
think they got attempted. Let's
Have a seat.
clear this area and head back to our spot and debrief again.
Okay.
Nothing on
Let me read this to you before I ask you any other questions, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to speak with us?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I do not know all the details, so we're going to go somewhere and you're going to talk to an officer, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Prostitution. And I'm a recovering addict, having prostituted in teen ages, and y'all gonna give me that charge? What is this, a felony?
No, ma'am, it's a misdemeanor.
Make it a felony, because my history states how many times I've been caught, and it's a felony.
The prostitutes are just really bold. I used to work this zone last year, get complaints from Subway that will go into the bathrooms, CVS going into the bathrooms, and it's just a constant problem. They don't care who's watching or anything like that.
Yep. Hear the word, but I heard the probable cause phrase.
And forward. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. You step out for the vehicle for me?
803 and then 200.
Can you turn around for me? Turn around.
What did I do?
They're confirming she's got a warrant out of Volusia. Okay, you ready? Ms. Harris, go ahead and step out for me. Stand right there, and this officer here is going to take a picture of you.
We started out with our male undercover officers, took a break, regrouped, then we deployed our female officers.
Basically, I was surveillance. basically kept an eye on our undercovers, make sure they were safe, communicated that with our uniform units so they can come in and come save the day if need be, and just kept them updated. So if one of our UCs are in a vehicle with a buyer, I'll follow that vehicle, keep the direction updated. So basically our uniform units knew where they were at all times.
Once the decoys lure in a John, suspected John, and they give us the code word that they have probable cause for the arrest, they'll guide them around back. Basically, as the takedown team, we'll move in to effect an arrest.
The first guy, he was outside lingering. He stated that he was waiting for some friends, because we knew he was interested just by the way he was looking at us, the way he was circling us, and he was able to make the deal, and I started walking back with him.
While the other officer was walking with him, I was approached by another fellow, and he just was, I guess since he saw us talking to the other person, he just knew what we were there for, and he was very straightforward and forthcoming, so that one was pretty easy.
You got 40 for the both of us. Yeah, go that way.
Younger white male,
Show me your hands now. Hands up, please. Give me your hands. Put your legs out. Dad, my dad's right here. Hey, you need to find. Dad, I didn't mean to do. Bro, I kept saying no. I kept saying no. I didn't want to do it.
It's kind of easier to collect men at night because they tend to try to come in the hotel area, so that was our focus.
Working, all right. Bad your feet.
When you have it going on at night, you have a couple undercovers out there playing prostitutes, men just kind of roll in, and that's where you get most of your numbers.
Well, at first he drove by and he just slammed on his brakes, and then he quickly turned in. He, again, was a little skittish.
He asked me if I was the cops right away. So I tried to convince him that I wasn't. I asked him if he was the cops, and that kind of like smoothed things over. He wanted to go get some liquor, so I didn't want to push it. I had a feeling he was going to return, so I went and let him on his way.
He went with their gut, and he went to the liquor store and came back.
He just actually knew where to drive because I had kind of told him where it was. Drove right on through, and then we went ahead and signaled the other guys.
We need to continue to do more of it, remain vigilant, step up our enforcement efforts of this type, to show them we're here to combat the problem.
Undercover work brings an inherent level of danger to the undercover officers, and we take every precaution to ensure the safety of all officers involved and any citizens in the area of these operations. After the break, we will take a ride with one of our GPD military veterans as he tells us about the similarities and differences of police and military work.
Burglaries and robberies have become serious concerns in our city. This crime is referred to as a crime of opportunity because most criminals look for the path of least resistance. Protect yourself, don't become a target, lock your doors, and keep expensive items out of plain view.
For crime prevention information, go to GainesvillePD.org or call the Gainesville Police Department's Crime Prevention Office at 334-2479. Protect yourself, don't become a target.
At 13, you decided to be a rock star. At 16, you decided to be a quarterback. At 25, you married the girl of your dreams. So when did you decide to become a sex predator? It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you've achieved. Download sexual images of children or entice a minor online, and you have committed a serious federal crime. You will go to prison, and it will ruin your life. Exploiting a minor is a major offense.
Many Gainesville police officers have prior military service. It's a natural progression for these former soldiers to continue public service by becoming a police officer. While there are similarities between both jobs, there are also plenty of differences. Recently, the police beat crew rode along with Officer D'Amico, who has done multiple tours of duty overseas. We truly appreciate his service to our country, and we appreciate all of our officers that have prior military service.
Yeah, we've got a huge number of veterans and prior military and current military police officers, all the way up from patrolmen to leadership to detectives. I know it's a supervisor nightmare and a supervisor headache to be coming and going, because not only are you gone for a year on your combat tour, you're also gone before you leave a couple weeks here, a couple weeks there for train up and getting ready. So I know that's got to be tough on supervisors and short staffing, but they do it, and they try to do it with a smile on their face, because and they're always proud of your service and what you do. Originally, you know, being young and naive and never been in law enforcement before, you think, oh, it's going to be exactly the same, I can handle it, I'm a military guy. That's not the case. There's a lot of things that are extremely different. Policy, procedures, there's so much multitasking going on as a police officer. What you're exposed to, the experience that you gain in your first year or two, it's like sipping from a fire hydrant. So many things are thrown at you that are unfamiliar to you. Similarities from military background to law enforcement background are the chain of command, working for someone, having teammates, being assigned a team, being assigned tasks and duties. This past year, they assigned a military liaison, an officer who works for the department with the approval of our chain of command, checking in with your family every month and asking, what do you need around the house? What obstacles are you facing with your spouses, your husbands, paychecks or tax returns coming up, or children, daycare, job. One funny story, my wife emailed me and said, there was a 6-foot snake in the backyard, and I haven't cut the grass, it's overgrown. I won't let the kids go out there and play because they're gonna get swallowed up by the snake and strangled. And I emailed her back and said, honey, you're exaggerating. There's no way there's a 6-foot snake in the backyard. Are you kidding me? You saw a little green snake or something and it ran off. Go cut the stinking grass, let the kids go outside and play. Well, lo and behold, she saw the snake again, takes a photo of it laying across the fence, and I counted all the planks of the fence, and plus there was some part of the snake that was missing because it was hanging over, and it was over 6 feet long. It was some pet that got loose. It could not have been in the wild that big. I don't know. Someone let it loose, it got loose, and it ended up in my backyard and freaked her out. And so I had to email her and apologize. Honey, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. There was a 6-foot snake in the backyard, and yes, it could have swallowed the children. And our police officer, who had prior military and was our liaison that checked in with her every couple weeks, every month, he went out there to help her assist with the snake. And he did multiple things around the house for me that, you know, I thank him all the time for. And he does that with the other military officers. They would keep me in contact and let me know who got promoted, a major incident, when someone did something well, and they gave me a connection from 9,500 miles away that made me feel, for at least a brief moment while I was reading the emails, that I was still back home, telling me what's going on, because GPD is like a second family, and it will always be like a second family. And over the last few years, I've seen them improve in that area and really give you that second family feel to me as a military veteran.
The Gainesville Police Department has many employees that have prior service. Here are a few of our officers that are currently in active duty status or have retired from service.
I'm Corporal Gary Hennigan. I retired in 2001 from the United States Navy after 20 years.
Officer Kelly Weaver, Sergeant, Army National Guard, 631st Maintenance Company, Stark, Florida.
Officer Jamie Stubbs, background investigator here at Gainesville Police Department. I'm also in the Air Force Reserves at 920th ASTS down at Patrick Air Force Base.
I'm Reginald Wilson, I'm the Director Supervisor. I've been here for 2 years. I've spent 24 years in the United States Navy. Last final tour was in Masaru, Japan.
My name is Sergeant First Class Jeremiah Kelly. I'm in the Army Reserve, currently serving as a First Sergeant 8th Military Police Company out of Tampa, Florida.
Officer Joe Washington, Gainesville Police Department, United States Navy, served 26 years.
Officer Ken Singletary, Florida Army National Guard, 18 years medic.
Officer Vishenbar Nikoloff with the Gainesville Police Department. I'm actively serving with the U.S. Coast Guard, Sector Jacksonville since 2010.
Officer Jeff Bailey, retired Army, served 24 years, 5th, 10th Special Forces, and 82nd Airborne Division.
Officer Travis Stevens, ex-Army, currently serving in the United States Air Force as a Tech Sergeant out of the 434th Grissom Air Reserve Base.
My name is Sergeant Daniel Beans, United States Marine Corps, currently serving with the 4th Anti-Terrorism Battalion in Tallahassee, Florida.
Yo, what are you doing?
Nothing, man. Just having a little fun.
Come on, man, she's drunk.
We're just a little bit buzzed, that's all.
She's more than just a little buzzed, dude. Look, she can't even stand up.
It's not a big deal.
Come on, let's just get her out of here. You'll thank me later.
Dude, come on.
Guys, he's running back. He's running back.
The Gainesville Police Department is very lucky to have numerous specialty units that enhance our ability to serve our great citizens. One of the resources we have available is the Joint Aviation Unit, which is a collaboration between the Gainesville Police Department and the Alachua County Sheriff's Office. The helicopter is a very useful tool when it comes to apprehending fleeing felons, missing persons situations, and many other law enforcement functions. The Joint Aviation Unit also serves other area law enforcement agencies, as well as assisting fire and rescue when needed. Let's get a little closer view into this unique specialty unit.
Joint Aviation Unit came about in the mid-90s after the student murders. When the student murders occurred, we realized we were using a lot of air support from other agencies. So GPD decided that they wanted to look into a helicopter. They obtained a helicopter, not this one that's behind me, but a different one, through our military surplus program. And when that occurred, the Alachua County Sheriff's Office decided they wanted to join the unit and make it a joint unit between the two so we could share expenses and everything. At the start of my shift, the first thing I do is I check the weather. Weather is the dangerous factor for us. So I'll check the weather, I'll make sure it's a good fly day. If it's a marginal fly day, then we'll consistently be checking the weather. I'll check the weather, make sure the weather's good, what the forecasted weather is, what the weather will be like when we get back from our mission, because if we go out, we have to make sure we get back into the airport. I'll also check the call load, see if there's specific areas that need to be looked at, and then I'll come out and pre-flight the aircraft. Mechanically, I need to make sure it's sound. We have a full-time mechanic, but I also, as a pilot in command, need to make sure it's airworthy and ready to go. The aircraft behind us is a 1970 OH-58 C model. It came from the military. That's a military surplus trainer that we got from the military for a very small fee. We then outfitted it, as you see, for law enforcement mission. Added FLIR, added a lot of technology to assist us in getting to calls. With that aero computer that we have on board, they give us an address. One dispatch gives us an address. We type it in, and it literally draws a line from the helicopter to that address straight. So we can fly over the trees, the houses, and with the doors on, the aircraft can reach about 110 miles an hour, which is a lot faster than a patrol car would be going. With them off, which it looks like right now, which we fly for summertime, we can get up to 100 miles an hour. and we can start seeing the scene of of whatever is going on from the air before we're even on scene. We can utilize the FLIR, which sees heat, and bad guys give off a lot of heat when they're running. If they try hiding under bushes, we can see residual heat that'll be coming out. And what we'll do is we'll notify the good guys that we have a heat source that is an anomaly, which isn't supposed to be there. Why is there heat coming from this area at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning? And we'll send the good guys in to investigate that. And if it's the bad guy, we've got ourselves a capture. If it's a deer, it usually runs off. So we also have the searchlight, which we can use, which we usually use for crowd situations. The original GPD helicopter was an OH-6, which people might be familiar with, called a Little Bird. It flew in Vietnam. It was actually shot down in Vietnam, but that helicopter is what started the Joint Aviation Unit and GPD's venture into the air. It was retired after 10 years of service, and it's still currently flying, still last I checked, in the Pacific Ocean off of a boat flying, searching for schools of tuna. We share everything with the Sheriff's Department. The Sheriff's Department has an identical aircraft, which is an A+ model. I can fly the green and white helicopter or the blue and white helicopter, and vice versa. My partner, who is also the chief pilot, Richard Bray, he wears a green uniform. He's a deputy. But we share all the equipment out here and all the responsibility. You can even see the tractor that's hooked up to the aircraft. It says Sheriff on it. The funding of the Joint Aviation Unit comes from forfeiture money. The purchase of the aircraft, the purchase of the equipment, everything you see behind me is forfeiture, meaning if we arrest a drug dealer who has a lot of money on him, if we take his car because his car is paid for and we sell it, that's where the money comes from. It does not come from any taxpayers, which is unique about this unit. The University Police Department, the Fire Department, Alachua Police Department, we get called to Levy County, Marion County, Columbia County. So it benefits this whole region, north central Florida really, because they see that the Gainesville Police Department's out there helping them. And when we're overhead, you know, we could be on a regular patrol or we're looking for somebody. We're just not going above them to make any just noise for any reason. This is our 4th full-time member, Chopper, who's taking care of business right now. Chopper's been here for about 14, 15 years. He showed up one day and has never left since. He's our guard dog. He watches the helicopters at night. We feed him, give him water. He walks under our feet, makes us fall over sometimes, but he gives us a lot of company.
Since this episode was filmed, Chopper unfortunately has left the Joint Aviation Unit. We know his memory will live on with the pilots and the crew.
We are very lucky to have the helicopter available to us. While they may not assist with the capture of criminals each day, we are very glad to have them above when only their skills can help. And as Officer Perot said, the helicopter is not paid by the tax dollars. It is funded by contraband forfeiture and seizure money. The next time you hear them in the air, know that they are helping serve and protect from above.
Well, that's it for this episode of Police Beat. Be sure to find us online on Facebook or Twitter or by visiting GainesvillePD.org, where you can watch previous episodes of the show.
We always value your comments on the show and encourage you to contact us with any suggestions you may have for future topics. We have aired viewer suggestions in the past, so please let us know what you would like to see on the show.
Join us again next month for another episode of Police Beat.
It's after midnight. Most likely you're asleep, safe in your home. Somebody is there, watching out for you. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. The Gainesville Police Department is on patrol.
Report of suspect attempting to enter residence.
Go ahead, 3, I'm in route.
The Gainesville Police Department. When you need us, we're there.